To India's educational system, higher education system in engineering is quite a complicated story. And in order to understand it fully, we have to take a little historical perspective. And the historical perspective can go back maybe about 50 years, 40 years or so, that there were about 100 odd colleges that were offering degrees in engineering. And together, between those 100 colleges, India was producing maybe 2,000 to 3,000 engineering graduates each year. And that certainly was not enough to educate the large masses and also meet with the capacity that is needed for development of India's economy. So recognizing that, India essentially embarked on an initiative to increase the capacity. And over the last 25 years, the capacity has increased tremendously to the point where there are over 1 million students that are studying engineering in India, and India is producing almost like 600,000 graduates annually from its 4,000 or so engineering colleges. Now, obviously, on one hand, it was very important for India to build this capacity to allow the people who had ambitions of studying engineering the opportunity to do so. On the other hand, when capacity building happens at such a rapid pace, things do fall between the cracks, and there are some questions that one may ask about the quality of those graduates. Because it requires infrastructure building, it requires availability of a large number of faculty, and those things happen more slowly than the number of students that can be admitted to engineering colleges. Over the last couple of years, I would say that process has been more or less completed. I think the capacity building is done, and rightfully NBA as well as the institutions in India are now focusing on quality. And in that context, having accreditation that is based on outcomes is extremely important in making sure that quality turns into an exercise of continuous quality improvement. So over the next decade or so, all the engineering colleges rise in the quality and provide good engineering education. When the country was able to be very selective in picking the students that go into engineering, I think the quality of education was very good. And as you can see, if you look at any major university in the United States and perhaps even in the United Kingdom, these are two English-speaking countries, and you go to any faculty of engineering, you would find about 10% of the faculty of Indian origin. So these institutions have produced graduates that are certainly of international caliber. And not only in academia, if you look even in industry, and you look among the senior people, the senior scientists, you will find a lot of people of Indian origin working in the Western world. And the ones that stayed back have done wonderful things for India also, as is very evident in how the economy has grown so rapidly. There is an exciting story about capacity building, but there is an equally important, or perhaps even more important, need in building quality over the next 10 years or so. NBA and its association with Washington and Ford can play a huge role in making this happen for the good of the world, because the Indian engineers are working at the global level. There are a lot of companies in India that are serving international companies. So it is important that the talent that they hire from the colleges has received the high quality education that they deserve. And accreditation and following the outcomes-based processes is perhaps the only way to ensure that all colleges rise, and it is not just about the very top institutions in the world which without any doubt are producing graduates that can compete in the global market. So in summary, I would say that accreditation has a very important role to uplift all the colleges and not just the very top colleges in